Hi everyone, I'm Roberta, TranslaStars content manager, and I'm here today with, on the other side, with Maria Barros, translator and subtitler. Hi Maria, how are you?
Hi, Roberta. I'm a little. I have a cold, maybe a sneeze, but I'm good. Thank you.
Stay strong.
Yeah.
So we're here today to talk about the art of subtitling. But before we start, please remember to drop your questions in the chat if you want to ask Maria anything. And also please remember that this interview will be recorded, so you can also catch up on it later. So are you ready, Maria?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay, I have some questions for you. So let's get started. So the first one is, what inspired you to delve into the world of subtitling, and how did your journey as a subtitler begin?
Yeah. I don't know if you know, maybe you don't, but I have worked for more than 2 decades in the manufacturing industry and helping business, international business mainly. And I was very used to translate, to do technical writing, but not subtitling. And one of these days I decided I wanted to change my career, and I started a post graduation in specialized translation and CAT tools. That's when I met subtitling. And when I started the classes, I love it because I'm the kind of person that loves to know what is happening in the backstage of things. I like to know the hidden secrets and how things are done. And I was really curious about this art, and you said it well. And I also have an hobby. Since I was a child, I love to write, and I love to use the words a little bit like a material, you know, like a shape you use to build a meaning, but paying attention to the words itself. And I use it to do something that may sound weird, but I love it. I still like to do this exercise to pick the classic poems structure like sonnets and to try to build a sonnet. And a sonnet and classic poems overall, they have very strict structures. A sonnet has 14 lines, two sets of four, two sets of three, five syllables short and five long. And I love it to do that exercise to convey meaning respecting these rules. And when I started to learn subtitling, I thought, oh, this is kind of the same because I have to convey the meaning in 2 lines, 42 characters, breaking the line in a very specific place. So many rules to convey a message. And in addition, you have the image, you have to synchronize with the image. So I found, no, this is my thing. I really love this. I want to do this. And at the time I thought, oh, this is really useful. I was really aware of the atmosphere of the companies, and export and import companies, they need to translate a lot of materials. And I thought, oh, the videos talking about the products, the CEO communications, these need subtitles, so I'm going to start to offer this service. And I did it, and I started, and I was still studying, and I was already working. And then I had some luck because I was referred to a TV channel, and I started to work with them as well. And that's what I do. I started this way, and I started subtitling like this is fun, and this is nice, and this is really challenging as well. Really challenging.
What an amazing journey.
Yeah.
So, and how has the landscape of subtitling evolved over the years, and what trends do you foresee for the future? So, step back in the past and a step ahead in the future.
Well, subtitling, I don't know if people are aware of this, but subtitling has a very long story, more than a century. Subtitling started in the beginning of 20th century with the silent movies and the need to convey a message for the silent movies. At the time, subtitles, the term was intertitles, not subtitles, because intertitles were a kind of cards or strips of paper, handwritten, that the editors placed in a frame between image frames. That's why the expression intertitles
Wow.
between the frames. And in 20s, an American man, the name is Herman Weinberg, I think. He bought a machine. The name is Moviola. It was the sister of Vitrola. At the time, Vitrola was a great advancement because allowed people to listen to music at home, and someone invented a similar thing to a home video projector that was Vitrola, but it was so expensive nobody bought it. And he makes some changes, and these Herman Weinberg started to use Vitrola to superpose the text, the titles on the images. And where did they place them? In the bottom of the screen. That moment was when the term changed to subtitles, because they went to the bottom. And this is the origin of this term. And meanwhile, in the 19th, during a long time, this was a really hard work, time consuming and really difficult. But in the 90s, emerged the computer assisted subtitling programs, and things started to get easier. Anyway, they will never be that easy, because there's a lot of participation. Each video is different, and the tools help a lot to do the job, but it needs a great participation of the technical expert. Yeah, because the rules I talked a while ago, 2 lines, no more than 42 characters, and so on. This has to do with some kind of ergonomics for the viewer. And this man, Herman Weinberg, he already had this kind of concern, because when he started to use Moviola, he started to go to the theaters, because he was very worried about the viewers. He thought that viewers would be forced to look up and down, up and down, up and down to the subtitles. Then he found that they just moved their eyes to read subtitles, and he started to put more and more subtitles, because he used it to put very few. And today the thing is the same. These rules, the goal is to promote a good viewer experience. The human eye can read that size in that time, no more, no less. And if the subtitles are larger, or if there are more than 2 lines, you compromise severely the viewer experience. So this is something you have to do very carefully, and is really challenging. Is really challenging for the subtitle to put the message, like in a sonnet. Is really challenging to put the message within these rules. Yeah.
And we have our first question from the audience, and it's from Mark. So
Yeah.
Mark asks, considering your background in another industry, do you have a unique subtitling process compared to others? And what best practices can you suggest for us to be time efficient and still provide quality subtitling? So time is another issue, I imagine.
Yeah, time is an issue because people, when I talk about this with people outside this business, they get really surprised when I say sometimes a minute can take 1 hour to subtitle,
Wow.
because think with me, people say a lot of things in a minute,
Yeah.
around 150 words to 200 words. So you have to translate those words, but it's not a mere translation. You also have to reduce the text, and the text still have to mean what is being said. It's a huge exercise and is time consuming. And regarding Mark's question, Mark, my experience is the I would say the same as people say about other kind of translation. We have to specialize to avoid so a lot of research, because beyond everything you still have to research some terms to understand them. Specialization and lots of practice is in the beginning. I did a lot of work, I did a lot of practice by myself, not for clients, even volunteering with TED talks, because the more you do, the more you practice, faster you are. But just practicing. And anyway, the tools are better and better regarding this topic of productivity. They are more user friendly now. So but practice and knowledge about the the area is really important.
We have another question from Lucy from Belgium. And she asks, my question is machine translations / post editing very much implemented in the subtitling workflow now, or is it still an uncommon practice?
As I said, if you have to translate the speech and then reduce it to fit within the rules, time and space rules, machine translation is kind of impossible to use, because if you go to Google Translate or DeepL or whatever, and you put put your transcription directly there, you will get a huge sentence. Even from English to English, is impossible to put on the screen everything the characters are saying. It's impossible. You have to cut somewhere. And with wordy language, like the Latin languages are, is even more difficult and impossible. That's why machine translation can help you to understand the meaning of some parts of speech, but in the end is the human hand and the human brain doing the work, because text reduction is really an important part of this exercise.
And now a question from me.
Yeah.
So can you highlight like a memorable or challenging project that you've worked on as a subtitler, and what valuable lesson or lessons you learned from it?
Yeah, one thing that I will never forget was my first project for the TV channel. I felt the weight of the responsibility because TV times are very fast, and the show was around 15 minutes. And as I told you, 1 minute, 1 hour at the time, I was a rookie and I wasn't that fast. But the subject was really interesting because I work for Action Sports TV, and I'm a kind of expert in surf and skateboard. And it was a surf show, a competition in Australia, and the problem was Australia and accent. And we maybe when we talk about AI can't understand accents. Sometimes even humans have a hard time to understand accents. And I took a lesson from this moment, but I had a hard time to understand a term that was being used, and the scenes before and after weren't helping me a lot to understand what was happening. And basically it was being said that Micro was the surfer, a veteran surfer, and the show was a praise for him. And they said something like Micro lost the leggy, but the man was running in the beach and I saw him with two legs. And oh, you can't imagine how long I spent there. Rewind, and I couldn't understand. And suddenly, I don't even understand the other things that were being said, and I wasted a lot of time. And after then researching terms, slang terms, surf slang terms, I couldn't find what that could be. In Portugal, we use English terms for surf, which we don't translate, but the stripe with the rope to fix the board to the ankle is a leash. So it's really different. And suddenly I had to stop and ask for help. I was working in a co-work space and I have some foreign friends, and I asked them if they knew someone who could help me with the term. And finally I found that in Australia they call the leash, they call a leggy. But the lesson I learned, and is important, and I have to tell myself this every day and every time I'm working: if I don't understand something, move forward, forget it, and then you come back later, and maybe in the next scene you will find the solution. But don't force your brain to understand. Don't waste your time. And that was really a really important lesson. This looks simple and minimal, but this is really important. We have to move forward. Otherwise, we will waste precious time and we will feel really frustrated with the situation. Yeah.
And let's just go back for a second on AI, since everyone is talking about it. It's such a hot theme. So we see tools transcribe, translate, subtitle at the same time. So is subtitling over? I I kind of already know the answer, but I want to hear it from you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for asking, because I like that questions and I like that question and I like to talk about this because I find those automatic subtitling generators awesome because the video content creators that post videos 10, 20 during the day on Instagram, TikTok, they can't hire a subtitler to subtitle those videos. So my point is, for short video content, those tools are okay. Your brain can't stand and your attention can't stand 1 hour of a poor job. regarding subtitling, because what you see, AI can't understand context, can't understand slang accents, or taboos, can't convey taboos, because there are certain things you can say in one language. And the thing is, uh, AI translates everything without synchronization. So you see often a line that crosses the screen from one side to another, a subtitle with 3 and even 4 lines. I already saw that. So this is possible to read in a very short video, and AI is okay. For longer videos, for important content like learning, for people with hearing impairments, for institutional communications, you can't offer that kind of video, because one of the positive things of subtitling is the engagement. Subtitling improved the engagement, and if people get tired of reading poor done subtitles, they will quit. And there are reputation damage for the companies using that. So there is place for everything, and but we must know when to use AI, and when to invite a professional to do a proper work. Yeah.
So we got 2 questions from the audience. The first one is from Sylvia. She says, I'm new in the subtitling industry. Do you have any tips for where and how to find new clients?
Yeah, Sylvia, thank you for your question. And I would say I'm not, I didn't follow the conventional path to coming to this business. Usually people start to work with agencies, and there's a lot of good agencies working for important clients, big companies, streaming channels, and paying correctly, and others that they pay very bad rates, very low rates. But anyway, there are good agencies out there. I didn't follow that path, as I said in the beginning, because I was already working in companies in the corporate world, and I found I should offer. I wasn't even aware of the agencies. I decided I would offer my service, my subtitling service, in the pack of translating as well, to direct companies. And what I would say to someone who is starting, and start small and start local. There's in your town, in your country, in your city, you have a lot of companies importing products or exporting products, a lot of companies that need your service. They are small, they are not fancy, they are not very known, but they are your clients, and you can approach them and have a more human, warm relationship. And I would start from there, because that's what I did precisely. That is my experience. I just work for one agency because I wanted a lot to try a different area from action, sport, and business related. It was gaming, and I was invited by an agency to go with them to a project, but I did a proper negotiation with them to meet in the middle, to find a fair rate for both parts, because they have to earn their money, obviously, and I have to earn mine. But I just work for one agency. I'm happy with them. I don't complain about them, but I prefer direct clients and small and local companies. Yeah.
And we have another question from Alexandra.
Yeah.
Do you recommend specializing in specific kinds of projects, for example, documentaries or sports shows, or staying open to all kinds of work?
Okay, Alexandra, thank you. And I guess you are going. You can guess what I'm going to say. You can be open for all kinds of works and I'm sure you will get all kind of work. But if you work on a subject matter you know very well, you will need to do less research. Like in translation, regular translation, you need to do less research. You will be more familiar with the topics, with the slang, with the technical expressions, and you will work fast. So my point of view, for me, I had chose these action sports because of the television and business related technological products, more specifically, and I work with that, and it's good. I'm productive.
And we have a very broad question from Armel. Hello, both of you. Which tools are you using? So which tools do you use in your, I don't know, day-to-day job?
Yeah, Armel, you have because yeah, but there's always free tools, and and in subtitling you have an awesome tool that is Subtitle Edit. Subtitle Edit is an open source tool. There's a lot of people. There's a founder, and he's very open when we need help. And I already asked him for help, and he's really fast answering. Is amazing person. But there's a lot of people, of developers all over the world working on Subtitle Edit, improving Subtitle Edit, and you can do a project in Subtitle Edit from scratch till the moment you have to deliver it to the client with burned subtitles, and you don't pay for it. You can donate some money if you think they deserve, and they really deserve, because it's a free tool and everyone can use it, and this is a very positive point, and I really recommend you to check it out, because this is a good tool, and lately they did some improvements. You find it at GitHub.
And we have 2 questions, but I'll share them. So the first one is from Juan. Which has been your most challenging experience when it comes to subtitling? So Juan, I think we already answered it. So the good news is that you can catch up on this interview and go back to the experience. It's a really fun one. Well, not so fun for you, maybe, Maria, but when you explained it, it was kind of interesting.
Yeah. The leggy Glenn Microwall lost the leggy is the experience. The leggy is the leash of a surfboard.
That's the lesson we learned from this experience.
Know how to stop, when to take a break, deep breath, and refresh your
carry on.
your brain.
So I would just like to circle back to translators, subtitlers that are starting out in their careers. So if you could maybe give some more piece of advice to them. So we spoke about starting local, starting small, and I don't know if maybe you can add something about personal branding or anything that just comes to your mind.
I have a point of view. These times is even more important. Never stop to train your brain. Machine learning engineers, they train artificial intelligence, and humans are getting so lazy. And don't quit to train your brain, because if you get knowledge, if you invest in getting knowledge, reading papers about your area of this will be very useful. Your brain will process that information and will help you to have brilliant solutions for the problems you are going to face. And the solutions human being can find are really, really brilliant and unique. And that's that spirit, that curiosity guiding us is what makes us different from artificial intelligence. So don't be lazy.
That's a great
Train your
advice.
brain.
Train your brain. Another catchy phrase. And
Yeah.
we have a question from Veronica. So she's asking, how can one decide and establish rates in this sector? Does it depend on the content, your subtitling, length of the video, etc.?
Yeah, the rates, there are several ways to establish the rates, and you have to take into account the subject, the size of the video, the accents, the needs of research, the tool you are going to use. If you have a transcription, there a list you have to check to understand how challenging the video is and how much time you are going to take to perform that work. Then you can charge by minute, by hour, by project itself, because this rate thing is a thing from the agencies. The final client is just want to know how much it costs overall. Maybe people ask you, but why this video has the same size as the previous one and is more expensive? And you will have to explain, but is this as simple as this?
Okay, so I have I think one last question for you, and I know that in just few weeks you will teach a course on subtitling, and I wanted to ask you what makes it different from other subtitling courses, because on internet we can find a lot of courses, and I would like to know what makes it special.
Yeah, what makes it special is that I've been observing my colleagues and aspiring subtitlers, and I designed this course, and TranslaStars gave him a perfect name, comprehensive course, because we are going to work on the common things for a subtitling course, that is text reduction, segmentation, punctuation, and these rules we have to obey. And also we are going to learn how to use subtitle edit, and this is the obvious part, but I added to this everything I would like to know when I started, and it has to do with having some culture and building some speech about the history, the trends, to be a real professional that is able to talk about their profession, and also how to find clients, who can be the clients, how to build a portfolio if we are just starting, how to promote, how to brand ourselves. And so it's a very comprehensive course that is a pack with everything around this area. During 10 hours we will talk about all these topics.
Great, sounds great. And I don't know if anyone has some questions. Let me check if I skipped on something. I don't think so. Okay, so here's everything. So thank you so very much, Maria, for your time and for your precious advice. And if you want to learn more from Maria, consider attending her upcoming course. It's in just 2 weeks, so you don't have much time. So mark your calendars. And so Thank you again, Maria, and thanks everyone, and have a nice evening.
Thank you, Roberta, and thank you, everyone. See you.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.